A Florida man is arrested and then pulls 2 human ears out of his pocket. A Florida man named Babycakes was caught naked in a chair. And another Florida man is accused of sex acts with an Olaf doll at Target. A Florida mother and daughter have been arrested after casting hundreds of fraudulent homecoming queen votes. These are the weird stories for Friday on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast hosted by a comedian, and the only daily weird news podcast that does Florida Friday. That's right. All the weird news from this week out of one state, our favorite state, Florida. Let's do it.
Those bizarre stories you hear about all the time that seem to only happen here in Florida. I know, right?
Can't make this stuff up. It is just one of the many wacky news stories out of Florida.
Why does the Sunshine State consistently produce such strange news?
But what accounts for all this bizarre news? Is it the weather? Is it the people?
Florida is full of the crazy stories.
A Florida man was arrested and then pulled 2 human ears out of his pocket. This happened in Florida over the weekend. Of course it did. It's Florida Friday. Somebody walked around with 2 human ears in their pocket. That sounds very Floridian to me. According to a police report from the Lake County Sheriff's Office. Oh, no, not Lake County again. This county's just despicable. The sheriff deputy responded to a reported stabbing at a house. Okay, that seems like normal Florida behavior. They made contact with someone named Colby Parker, age 30. He said he was attacked by his grandpa, Ronnie, while they were smoking marijuana. Why would you attack your grandpa while smoking marijuana? It's a very anti-smoking marijuana event and behavior. You should just be happy that your grandpa's smoking with you. My grandpa would never smoke marijuana with me. My grandpa's not alive anymore, but my grandpa would never have done that. My grandpa was like, I'll take you to church, but I'm not going to smoke weed with you. He was that kind of grandpa. Oh, he did take me bowling and golfing. He never smoked weed with me, though. That would have been incredible. And certainly if he was smoking weed with me, I wouldn't stab him, cut off his ears, like I think this Colby Parker did, age 30. After his grandpa came at him with a knife, Colby says he was able to disarm the man and use the knife against him. He's 77 years old, by the way, his grandpa. You disarm the 77-year-old man. Wasn't that enough, Colby? Then you have to use the knife against him. Once you disarm him, you could just... He's 77 years old. Just push him into a chair. He's not getting up. What's wrong with you, man? Why you got to use the knife against him? I think you're doing more than smoking marijuana, sir. I think you're involved in some of those other designer drugs that come out of Florida that make people bite people's faces off. You know the ones. Grandpa Wells was found on the porch with some stab wounds, deceased, unfortunately. They say when the deputies were interviewing the suspect, he pulled 2 human ears from his pocket. They later discovered that the ears belonged to the grandpa. Yeah, of course they belonged to the grandpa. Did you think they belonged to another individual who wasn't at the scene? Obviously, he cut off his grandpa's ears. The question is why? Why would you do that? You've already put him out. You got to cut the ears off? This makes no sense whatsoever. This guy's not on marijuana. I don't know what it is. Inside the home, detectives found a baseball bat splattered with what appeared to be blood and a large butcher knife. This dude went to town on Ronnie. For what? Parker later confessed to smashing his grandpa on the head with a bat, stabbing him with a knife several times. I mean, it's your grandpa, 77 years old. You got to go through all this? You could have just put him in a headlock and give him a noogie, and he would have left you alone. He's a 77-year-old grandpa. Finally, Parker also admitted to cutting off his grandpa's ears because he wanted his grandfather to be with his dead grandma. I don't understand what that has to do with cutting off his ears. Did you cut off your grandma's ears as well? I cut off his ears because I wanted him to be with my grandma. He's going to be with your grandma because you already murdered him, you idiot. What does cutting the ears have to do with him being with your grandmother? He's quoted as saying, it was his time to go. No, it wasn't his time to go, sir. It was his time to go because you decided you can't smoke weed with your grandpa in a friendly manner. You decided it was his time to go. It wasn't his time to go. It was his time to get high and watch some like old Archie Bunker episodes or something. Not his time to go, sir. Guys, just cherish your grandparents, okay? And occasionally get high with them. They don't have much time left. A Florida man named Babycakes was caught naked in a chair outside an apartment complex. This is in Fort Myers, Florida. A man is accused of sitting in a chair. And that's not all he was doing. This is Florida. These guys don't just sit in the chair. They're doing some other things. He's completely naked. That's absolutely required. You're a Floridian sitting in a chair outside an apartment complex. You should be naked, touching yourself. I'd imagine that's how it goes down. We've heard it time and time again, guys. When will these naked people stop touching themselves in Florida? This guy's 71 years old. His name is Irving Howard. Lovely name. He's got a nickname that's even better, though. It's Babycakes. Babycakes Howard. You guys know Babycakes. Likes to sit in chairs completely naked. He was arrested for sitting in a chair fully nude next to an apartment complex's parking lot. There was another problem. That problem is there was children in the area. Babycakes don't care about children. He just wants to let it all hang out. You know, he's Babycakes. Babycakes Howard don't care. 71 years old with his droopy package. He doesn't care. He lets it sun. He likes to sun it. Babycakes puts some baby oil on his package and just suns it. That's what he's known for. Hey, Babycakes in the baby oil. Doing it again? That's right, everybody. I'm Babycakes. Hide your children. Never mind. Let them hang out. Babycakes don't care. When the officers got to the apartment, they arrested Babycakes and took him into the Lee County Jail. He's arrested for, you guessed it. Guess what Babycakes is arrested for? You guys know. It's the double L. Lewd and lascivious behavior. Indecent exposure and disorderly intoxication have been thrown in as well. I just like the idea of an old man in your apartment complex named Babycakes who just can't control himself. And like once a month, he just covers himself in baby oil, takes all his clothes off and sits in a chair in the sun. Everybody's known about it for years, but it just built up. It was too much. No one could take it anymore. The older Babycakes got, the more undesirable looking his body became, and no one could take it. They're just like, you know what? We're just going to have to finally call the police on Babycakes. Babycakes, we're sorry. We can't take you sitting in that lawn chair all naked anymore. It's just, I know this is your 17th season of doing it, but it's got to stop, bro. Poor Babycakes. Yay! A Florida man is going to be evaluated after he's been accused of sex acts with a doll inside a Target. Cody Meter is a Florida man. He's accused of causing some criminal damage and exposing his reproductive organs. He hangs out with Babycakes on the weekends, but he's like, I'm going to take it up a notch. I'm going to go inside a store with my reproductive organs. It's not enough to just wave it around in the parking lot. I'm going inside. I'm going to find myself some stuffed animals to make love to. A psychological assessment will be conducted on this 22-year-old Cody, suspected of sexual molestation of a stuffed unicorn and a puffy Disney character. Do we really need a psychological assessment on this guy? I mean, he's crazy. Let's move on. Don't need to spend any more of our resources in this department. He needs help. Clearly, according to the media, the hearing was requested this week. It's going to take place next month. Okay, so I guess we're processing this guy. He was arrested in St. Petersburg after reportedly, he rubbed his genitals against, you might want to sit down for this. He rubbed his genitals against two stuffed animals, one of which was a big Olaf doll from the Disney animated film Frozen. Oh, my goodness. For which it says here that he completed his enjoyment using the Olaf doll. He's 6'2", 220 pounds of loving. Just wants to spread the love with some plush toys. There's a video of this. He's walking around the store. You can see him near the dolls, near the stuffed animals, wearing a Star Wars t-shirt and shorts. He began with the Olaf doll and then dry humped the stuffed unicorn before going back to the Olaf doll to what the hell? I didn't watch the video. I'm just reading what it says. It's kind of a play-by-play on a man making love to a padded toy. There were no signs of drug or alcohol use in the initial interview. I mean, are you sure about that? I find that very hard to believe. He faces charges of criminal mischief and disclosing sexual organs as misdemeanors. How is that a misdemeanor? Disclosing your sexual organs. That's what I want to know. See, this is the start. This is the problem. When exposing your sexual organs is only a misdemeanor in Florida, who's not going to expose their sexual organs? There's no penalty. It's a misdemeanor. It should be way more than a misdemeanor. exposing your sexual organs. First of all, 9 times out of 10, it's a male. And no one wants to see male genitalia. There's no great time for that, really. We could argue that there's some points in time where, a female exposing herself can be enjoyable in public. That being a misdemeanor, I'm fine with that. A lady part, that's a misdemeanor. Male sexual organs should definitely be a felony in public to show it. That's my opinion. No one needs that in life. No one wants that. It's definitely not enjoyable for anybody except for the person doing it for some reason, which I don't get that at all. I never understood this whole, show my things. Good times. I just never got that at all. Now, following the dry humping of these stuffed animals, well, it wasn't completely dry because he finished the job, so poor Olaf. This guy, Meter, admitted to doing stupid things according to the police. According to his father, his son has a, quote, history of this sort of conduct. I mean, does that mean you were making love to all your stuffed dolls and stuffed animals as a child? I mean, why didn't your father just tell the rest of us that this was happening? Why do you got to let your son out into the world like that? Your son should have gotten some attention earlier on. You should have intervened, father of this stuffed animal dry humper. Am I wrong? It's not completely the parents' fault, but the parents have to have some responsibility here. You saw early on that your son's making love to the Winnie the Pooh. That's an intervention right there, bro.
You like podcasts? You're listening to my podcast. Maybe you thought to yourself, I'd like to make a podcast. Too difficult. No, not with Anchor. Anchor has free creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast from your phone or your computer. Anchor distributes your podcast to Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, and more. They have advertising integration, so you can even make a little money off your podcast. Everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And good luck with your podcast. Good luck with your creation. Good luck with your life, man.
A Florida mother and daughter were arrested after casting hundreds of fraudulent homecoming queen votes. An assistant principal and her daughter have been arrested. The authorities say they were responsible for fraudulently casting hundreds of votes for the high school's homecoming court. According to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, the investigation into Laura Rose Carroll, age 50, and her 17-year-old daughter, who was announced as the Tate High School's homecoming queen, began when the county school district in Florida contacted the FDLE to report unauthorized access into hundreds of student accounts after discovering that 117 votes for Tate High School's homecoming court were allegedly originated from the same IP address in a very short period of time. Let me guess, they came from Carol's house. Don't tell me you and your daughter had hacked into the school computer from your home. Silly. Turns out here that Carol is an assistant principal at an elementary school. She had access to what's called student focus accounts. Apparently, it lets you get into the entire school system. So they went into the school system for her daughter's high school, Tate High School. This allows students, teachers, and parents to log into the accounts, view grades, medical histories, test scores, attendance. All this personal information is available. Apparently, you can cast votes as well for homecoming. This is ridiculous. How bad did you want it, guys? You're going to jail. How bad did you want homecoming queen? You're going to jail. Silly buffoons. The FDLE say that their agents were able to uncover evidence of unauthorized access to the Focus website linked to Carol's cell phone, to computers in Carol and her daughter's home, and to a total of 246 votes cast for the homecoming queen, which Carol's daughter eventually won. 246 votes. You thought no one was going to know? They don't show a picture of her daughter, and I can't see her school records either. So I don't even know if she's deserving of home. Is she popular? Like, was this so far gone? Was it so obvious that this person should not have been homecoming queen? I don't know. It's hard to say because you're not at the school. And by the way, homecoming queen, what are you really getting out of that? If anything, just change her grades to all A's. You can actually get far in life with that. No one gives a damn if you're a homecoming queen after high school. But if you change your grades, now you're looking at a good college down the road. Like, use the system for something that can be profitable and actually help her life and career. You make her the homecoming queen. This is how you're going to use your hacking skills? You stupid. It's like ridiculous. Carol, the mother, was arrested and booked into the county jail. Bond set at $8,500. The daughter was taken into custody, transferred to a juvenile detention center. I wonder what's going to happen to her. They face third-degree felony counts of offenses against users of computers. Offenses against users of computers. I'm a user of computers. I'm offended. Computer systems, computer networks, electronic devices, unlawful use of two-way communication devices, and criminal use of personally identifiable... never mind. And now you can be queen of the juvenile detention center. Yay! I got a feeling, woo, that this news is gonna be some weird news. I should make that a real song and put it in the beginning of the show. No, you shouldn't, Jonesy. You're right. You're absolutely right. That's a terrible choice of a song parody. Let me give some love to some people who reached out to me on Facebook. Shout out to Jeff Whalen, April White, Terry Meehan, Robert Fiscali, Owen Deadman, Melissa Massey. Just big shout out to you guys for sending me articles and stuff and just saying what's up on Facebook. You guys can find me on Facebook, Comedian Jonesy, or Weird AF News also has a Facebook page. I got a really cool and very nice review on Amazon for Weird AF News. It's from Mr. and Mrs. Science Lover. They gave me 4 stars, which I'm so happy about. And they wrote, "This guy is a crack up." I'm a crack up, apparently. I have a feeling you guys aren't from the U.S. because we don't say that. We don't say this guy is a crack up. We say this guy cracks me up. I'm going to guess you guys are from like the U.K. or something. Did I nail it? Please write me and tell me. Let me read their review, by the way. Mr. and Mrs. Science Lover. "This podcast is very unusual, to say the least. This comedian is entertaining and comes up with funny stories in the news. I don't come up with them. Just FYI, I don't come up with them. They're there. They're already sitting there. I don't come up with them. I find them. They're pretty easy. You can find them too if you have an internet connection." Okay, let me finish the review. It says, "By far my favorite is Florida Fridays. You just cannot make up the stuff that the people in Florida do to get into trouble." Yeah, you're absolutely right. And how fitting that I'm reading this review on a Florida Friday episode. So, Mr. and Mrs. Science Lover, thank you so much for your 4-star review, your encouragement. I'm so grateful that you're a loyal listener and that you appreciate Florida Fridays very much. I have a feeling you're from another country, so I'm wondering if you knew that Florida was filled with troublemakers until just now. Is this like new information for you? Is Weird AF News really opening your eyes to the state of affairs in Florida, maker? The state of affairs in Florida, the state of affairs in Florida with the troublemakers, which is what I tried to say. My goodness. Not only am I losing my voice, I'm losing my mind. Okay, anyways, I'm grateful for the review. Please leave me a review if you have never done so. It's super helpful. You can go to Amazon and do it, or go on Apple Podcasts. Those are pretty much the places for that. I hope you're having a great weekend. Thanks to everyone who sent me Florida stories, links to Florida articles. Super helpful. You can always do that at funnyjones@gmail.com, or you can send it through Facebook too, or any of the other social medias. I'm at funnyjones on Twitter and Instagram as well, and I accept articles there. Check out the website, weirdafnews.com. That's got some stuff. And while you're there, you can consider joining the Patreon. The Patreon, there's a link on the weirdafnews.com website. And it's just another way to support the show if you'd like to. But no need. You can support the show just by listening on a regular basis, or tell your roommate. That's pretty helpful. Once again, thanks again for being there. Thanks for supporting the show. Appreciate you. Hope you're having a great weekend. And we'll see you on Monday.
Oh, now, Jonesy, you sure you want to know how I take in the Weird AF News podcast? Well, I'll tell you. The angry Florida man draws himself a nice bath, fills it full of lavender leaves, rolls himself up a hand-rolled CBD joint, and then he wakes up and realizes he's driving a damn bread truck and talking into a phone like he knows somebody. Take it easy! Oh, hell, Jonesy, now, you can't make fun of these folks for changing their name to Salmon to get some free sushi. I mean, come on now. You real think about it for a second here, because You'd be referring to me as the Burger King, if you know what I'm saying, if this was the case around here. Hey, Jonesy, it's Angry Floridaman here. I'm just calling to talk to you about that fella over there now. Where beer truck Bukowski in Poland, whatever that place was. He going for the record of 200 times going for his driver's license. You know, I mean, come on now. My grandfather was 86 years old and blind as a bat and drove by sonar. And when he was failing his eye exam, he just learned to be very quiet while he was waiting in line. Just listen to what the other folks were saying in front of him. And then he just get up there like he was doing some contra speed code, like up, up, down, down, left, right, you know. EA sports, whatever you guys say, it's in the game, man. All right, well, hey, now I can't seem to figure out how to hang up my damn phone here. Oh, hey, Jonesy, love you. Talk to you later. Oh, Jonesy, is it true that Great Britain is rebooting Gilligan's Island? Taking folks that have been vaccinated out on a 3-hour tour? Oh, man, maybe I went too far with that one. Yeah, who cares? Take it easy.